Hello everyone, this is Paukshte Fashion Workshop. I remind you that we post new videos every day. I also want to remind you that some of our video courses are already available. Buy them if you haven't done it yet. Today we're going to show you how to edge a waistband of a skirt with a bias binding. Have a look at this skirt. It's already finished. The waistband is edged with a bias binding of the same color. This is how such detail looks like. Very beautiful. We're going to make a mock-up of a waistband. The width of the waistband is 6 cm. We're going to double it with the interfacing material. We've already cut it. Next, we need to cut the bias binding itself. The width of the piece of fabric we're cutting for it is 3 cm. A bias binding should be cut on the bias. This is very important. This technique is pretty simple. I hope that you'll find it helpful. There is no need to press the bias binding. Anyway, we need to go to the ironing desk to double the waistband. Apply the interfacing material to the main fabric slowly and accurately. Don't stretch the fabric. We've doubled the waistband. Let's go back to the sewing machine. We need to trim the waistband before we continue working with it. Cut all the extra pieces. Next, we need to attach the bias binding this way and stitch it. The width of the seam is 5 mm. Of course, you can edge the waistband with an overlocker, but it would look much neater if it's edged with the bias binding. Have a look at this seam. It's 5 mm wide. Let's go to the ironing desk. Iron the waistband first. Have a close look at the way Nataly is ironing the bias binding. It should be folded and pressed. Have a close look here. Here's the seam. Next, we need to fold it once again and press it from this side. We're pressing the binding to the wrong side of the detail now. Be very attentive, please. This is how it looks like from the right side. Next, we need to fold the waistband in half and press it. It's ready for stitching. Have a look here. Nataly has pressed the waistband in half. This is how the binding looks like now. It's hidden on the wrong side of the waistband. I remind you that this is just a mock-up. We're working with a straight piece of fabric. In your case, before stitching the waistband to a skirt, you need to shape the waistband by ironing it. This is how it should be done. You need to stretch the lower edge and make the waistband slightly round. It should be done for the waistband to fit your body perfectly. Have a look at the result. This is how the waistband looks like now. Do not forget to shape it before stitching. This is very important. Let's go back to the sewing machine. We need to stitch the waistband to the skirt. Be very attentive. You can top stitch the bust binding if you want to. In our case, the fabric used for making the bust binding is not slippery, so there is no need to do it. If the fabric is slippery, it's better to make an additional seam on it. Nataly has pinned the details. She is going to stitch them now. Later we'll show you how to stitch the sides of the waistband. The width of the seam is 7 mm. Be very careful. Make a smooth, beautiful seam. It should be of an accurate width, 7 mm. We've stitched the waistband. As I've already said, the width of the seam is 7 mm. Let's go back to the ironing desk. Iron the waistband. And then press the seam towards the waistband. Be very attentive, please. This is how the seam looks like from the right side. This is how it looks like from the wrong side. Very beautiful. The edges were pressed to the waistband. Cut all the extra pieces from the seam. Next, we need to edge the waistband. We're going to stitch the short end first. Be very attentive. Fold the waistband the following way. Make sure that the bust binding is seen this way. Fold the waistband according to the previous fold and make sure that the bust binding is seen. We can stitch the detail now. Stitch the waistband right along the edge of the skirt. In your case, there will be an invisible zipper here. I remind you that we are working with a mock-up. Be very attentive. Make a short, accurate seam. Cut the threads and the extra pieces from the seam. It should be done for the seam not to be too thick. One edge is shorter than the other now. Next, we need to stitch the other edge, the longer one. Fold the waistband the same way. In this case, we need to unfold the pressed edges. Watch what Nataly is doing very carefully. Pin the details. This edge is 4.5 centimeters long now. We need to make it 3 centimeters long. Please be very attentive. The seam should start exactly in the point where the seam stitch in the waistband and the skirt ends, as if it's a continuation of that seam. We're stitching right in the point where we've marked 3 centimeters. Do not forget to make back stitches in the beginning and the end of the seams. Cut the extra pieces. I remind you that it should be done for the seams not to be too thick. Let's turn the waistband right side out. This is how the waistband should look like in case you're working accurately. There will be an invisible zipper inserted here in your case. Turn the other side right side out as well. Spread the corner. Be very attentive. Next, we need to iron the waistband and stop stitch it. Nataly is ironing it now. Have a close look here. There will be an invisible zipper inserted here. To make these details thinner, cut the corners. Watch the way Nataly is doing it. Fold and press the waistband in this case in the angle. By doing so, we've made this part thinner. This is what should be done before inserting an invisible zipper here. Let's iron the other edge. Have a look at the waistband. It's very neat. Nataly is an amazing tailor. Let's go back to the sewing machine to top stitch the waistband. The seam should be made right in between the waistband and the skirt itself. It will be convenient to tack the details 1 mm above the previous seam. Let's do it. It's necessary to tack the details. We're making a tiny mock-up. In your case, the details will be much bigger. Don't be lazy. Tack the details. Such things might seem unimportant to you, but they ensure the high quality of the garments you're making. That's it. We can start stitching now. Be very attentive. Stitch right in the first seam. Have a look here. The seam is absolutely perfect. It's not even seen. It's right in between the waistband and the skirt itself. We need to remove the taking. I can't wait to have a look at the wrong side. Perfect. The only thing we need to do is to iron the waistband once again. This is what Nataly is doing now. This is the final ironing. The waistband looks good both from the right and from the wrong sides. I'm sure that you managed to do it. Just be careful and attentive. This is how the waistband looks like from the right side. The both edges are perfect. This is how it looks like from the wrong side. It's edged with the bias binding. Very beautiful. That's all for today. We're Ira and Nataly. Subscribe to this channel, buy the courses, write comments, share the videos, press the like and the bell buttons. We would really appreciate your support. Thank you. Goodbye.